We agreed to host my husband's sister while she got back on her feet. I noticed she'd been wearing my robes, then my perfume, then calling him babe as a joke. One night, I walked into the living room and found them sleeping on the couch, her head on his chest, his hand in her hair. When I asked what was going on, she laughed and said, "You never deserved him anyway." So I left them both a gift, my wedding ring, inside a toilet bowl. Let me tell you about the moment I realized my marriage wasn't just falling apart. It had been taken from me, piece by piece, right under my nose. I'm Dana. I'm 42, and I lived in Franklin, Tennessee. I worked at a dental clinic and handled most of the front-end stuff. My husband, Ray, worked from home doing tech support for some company based up north. He always said we were a good team. We didn't have kids, but we had 2 dogs, Ollie and Daisy, and we made our little home feel full. It wasn't perfect, but I thought we were good. Then his sister Celia moved in. Celia was younger, 26, blonde, always looked like she was going to a photo shoot, even on grocery runs. She'd been living with a boyfriend in Knoxville who she said got weird after she lost her job. According to her, he threw her out. I didn't ask for proof. I didn't press. Ray said she just needed a place for a couple months while she found work and got her life together. I agreed. That's what family does, right? At first, I was fine with it. I really was. I bought extra groceries, cleaned up the spare room, even helped her put together a new resume. She didn't pay rent, but she said thank you a lot and offered to help around the house. That first month, she mostly stayed out of the way. But little things started piling up. It was the robe first. I walked into the kitchen one morning around 6:30, heading to work, and there she was, barefoot, drinking coffee in my monogrammed robe. It was white, plush, a gift from my mom last Christmas. Had my initials stitched on it. D. Oh my God, she said when I stared. I thought this was the guest one. Saw the. But she didn't move to take it off. Just kept sipping coffee, like nothing. Then it was my perfume. Chanel número 5. Ray gave it to me for our anniversary. I didn't wear it every day. I saved it for weekends or special things. But one Friday, I went to use it and noticed the bottle was almost halfway gone. Celia walked into the bedroom while I was holding it. "Oh yeah, I borrowed some," she said, all breezy-like. "Had a Zoom thing with a recruiter. Hope you don't mind." Mind? No, of course not. I love when someone helps themselves to my stuff without asking. But I let it go. Again. Because I didn't want to be the jealous wife or the uptight one. I didn't want to make things awkward. Then she started calling Ray babe. At first it was little things. "Hey babe, do we have popcorn?" Or "Babe, what's the Wi-Fi password again?" Then she'd laugh and say, "Kidding," like it was some harmless joke. Ray would chuckle. I'd try to smile, but something about it didn't feel right. It was like she was testing the water, seeing how far she could go. One night, I was working late. Fridays are always long at the office, and I didn't get home until after 9:30. I walked in, and the lights in the living room were low. TV was on. Dogs were asleep. And there they were, Ray on the couch, stretched out. Celia lying on top of him, her head resting on his chest. His hand was in her hair. They didn't hear me at first. I just stood there. I must have stared for a full minute before I said anything. "Ray." He opened his eyes. Didn't even look surprised. Just blinked and said, "Hey." I looked at Celia. She was smiling. That same smug little smirk she always had when she knew she'd gotten away with something. "What the hell is this?" I asked. Celia sat up slowly, like she was waking from a nap. "Relax," she said, stretching like a damn cat. "We were watching a movie. Fell asleep." "Why is your hand in her hair?" Ray pulled his hand back like he'd just realized it was there. "I don't know. We were just," Celia interrupted him. "You never deserved him anyway." Just like that. Calm. Cold. Like it was nothing. I walked upstairs. Didn't say another word. Packed a small bag, jeans, shirts, underwear, the basics. Went into the bathroom, took off my ring, and dropped it into the toilet. Watched it hit the water. I flushed, but it didn't go down. I didn't care. On the counter, I left a note. Nothing dramatic. You two deserve each other. Don't call me. And I walked out the front door without saying goodbye. I stayed at a friend's place that night. Slept on her pull-out couch and didn't sleep more than an hour. My phone buzzed nonstop for the next 2 days. Texts from Ray. One from Celia that said LOL. That was it. Just LOL. I didn't answer any of them. That was the end of my marriage. But not the end of my story. Because I wasn't about to let them think I'd just vanish. I was going to make sure they felt what they did. And I was going to take back more than just my pride. I didn't go back to the house. Not even to get the rest of my stuff. I left it all there, every sweater, every plate, every picture on the wall. It didn't feel like my home anymore. Ray's name was on the mortgage. Mine too. I wasn't stupid. I knew I had rights. But I needed time. I needed a plan. I stayed with my friend Monica. She didn't ask questions, not at first. Just gave me wine and silence. On day 3, I told her everything. She cried before I did. You need a lawyer, she said. I don't want money, I told her. I want them to suffer. She looked at me for a second, then nodded. Then we'll do both. I went back to work like nothing happened, smiled at patients, called in prescriptions, acted like I wasn't picturing my husband and his own sister, sharing a bed under the same roof I'd mopped and painted and poured myself into. I didn't tell anyone else at first. It was too big, too sick. I wasn't sure people would believe me. Or maybe I just wasn't ready to say it out loud. But then Celia made it easy. She posted a selfie. It was her in my kitchen, drinking from a mug Ray gave me on our 3rd anniversary. The caption said, Sunday mornings with my favorite person. #blessed, she tagged Ray. That's when I lost whatever was left of my patience. I screenshotted it, sent it to Monica and said, let's ruin them. Step 1. Financial control. Ray had no idea I'd already moved half our savings into an account in just my name 2 months before Celia moved in. It wasn't sneaky, just smart. I'd been thinking about starting a side business and wanted to have something separate. Never got around to the business. But the account was there. Almost $12,000. Ours, technically. Now mine. Step 2. The mortgage. I called the bank. Got copies of the last 6 payments. Ray had missed one last year and never told me. That was enough. I told them I'd be disputing ownership soon and wanted to start paperwork for a formal split. They froze any changes on the account. Step 3. The truth. I printed out screenshots, the robe, the couch photo, the Instagram selfie, even the text Celia sent me that just said LOL. I made a folder. I dropped it off at Ray's boss's HR department in Chicago. That part one wasn't even sure would do anything, but his company had a strict workplace conduct policy, and Celia had used Ray's work laptop for her job hunt. I made sure to mention that. I also filed for legal separation. Not divorce. Not yet. I wanted time to hurt him first. But the real revenge came when I visited his mother. Ray's mom, Diane, never liked me. Said I wasn't what she pictured for her only son. But she loved Celia. Called her a warrior. So I drove out to her place in Murfreesboro, knocked on her door, and handed her a manila envelope. What's this? She asked. Proof, I said, of what your kids are doing. She didn't believe me at first. Called me bitter. But she opened the envelope. I watched her face change as she flipped through the photos and texts. Jesus Christ, she whispered. Tell me this isn't real. You can call them and ask, I said. Then I left.
No yelling.
No fighting. Just silence. Within a week, Diane had publicly disowned Celia on Facebook. She called their relationship unnatural and disgusting. She even posted one of the screenshots herself. The comments exploded. Ray deleted his Facebook. Celia made hers private. But I wasn't done. Ray tried to reach out a few times. Left voicemails saying it wasn't what I thought. That I was overreacting. That it was all twisted up. I didn't respond. Not even once. I wasn't interested in his excuses. I wanted him to feel powerless. Then I got an idea that would twist the knife a little deeper. Ray was still using our shared Amazon account. Celia too, apparently. I could see their orders. I started screenshotting every little thing they bought. Cheap makeup, junk food, lingerie. I sent anonymous emails with the screenshots to Ray's HR department, flagged as employee using work-from-home hours for personal use. I knew they'd look deeper. Meanwhile, I started seeing a therapist. Not just to heal, but to make sure if this went to court, I had documentation. Dates. Details. And a clean mental health record. Then Monica brought something to my attention I hadn't even considered. You said Celia used Ray's laptop for interviews, right?
Yeah.
And she stayed logged in on your Wi-Fi? Right. Monica grinned. Let's talk to my cousin. He's in cybersecurity. We got lucky. Her cousin, James, was able to help us, legally, recover some deleted messages from a backup Celia had accidentally synced to our home network. Turns out she and Ray weren't just flirting. They were sleeping together. The messages weren't subtle. One from her said, "She's so boring. You deserve someone who actually excites you." Ray had responded, "I know. I just wish she'd leave already." Another message included a picture I won't describe, except to say it was taken in our bed. The timestamp was 3 days before I caught them on the couch. I couldn't breathe when I saw that one.
But I didn't cry.
I felt cold. Focused. I printed everything. Logged it. Organized it by date. Then I hired a lawyer. A good one. A woman named Rachel with gray hair, no patience, and a reputation for destroying cheating spouses in court. "Are you ready to get dirty?" She asked me in her office. More than ready. We filed for divorce. No separation this time. I requested the house, the dogs, alimony, and half of his 401k. Rachel sent the petition directly to Ray's job, certified mail. I wanted his coworkers to see the return address.
He didn't call this time.
Just texted. "You didn't have to do this. We were going to tell you." I didn't answer. I forwarded it to Rachel. A week later, I got an email from a woman named Kayla. Subject line Ray. The body said, "I saw the posts. I'm his ex from college. You're not crazy. He cheated on me too with his stepsister back then." No one believed me.
I'm sorry.
My blood went ice cold. Stepsister. Ray's parents had divorced when he was 15. Diane remarried a man with a daughter, Celia. They weren't blood. But still, it all clicked. That's why Diane had freaked out so badly. She must have known the truth already, or suspected it. That's why she'd reacted the way she did. Not because of me, but because of what she knew deep down was true. Ray and Celia weren't just crossing emotional lines. They'd been crossing them for years. And I was the idiot who walked right into their sick little story. After that message from Kayla, I couldn't unsee it. Ray and Celia had been messing around long before I came into the picture. The couch. The hair stroking. The perfume. All of it wasn't new. It was just the latest chapter in something much darker. I felt sick. But I also felt clear. This wasn't just about betrayal. It was about two people who used me to hide their own twisted shame. I had been a prop. A placeholder wife. And the whole time I was trying to be understanding, trying to be patient, they were playing me. So, I stopped playing nice. Rachel, my lawyer, moved fast. She sent a subpoena for all shared devices and online accounts. Ray pushed back. Claimed privacy. We responded with the messages between him and Celia. The court reviewed them in private. The judge ruled in my favor. I got the house. I got both dogs. Ray was ordered to pay spousal support for 2 years. And the court declared the relationship between him and Celia grounds for extreme fault, which meant I got a larger share of assets, including a chunk of his retirement savings. Ray tried to fight it. His lawyer quit halfway through the case. Celia didn't show up to court once. Too busy pretending she didn't exist. After the ruling, I changed all the locks and hired a crew to pack up Ray's things. I had them put everything he owned into black trash bags, not boxes. Just bags.
No labels.
No care. He came to pick them up in a U-Haul with tinted windows. I watched from inside as he loaded the bags one by one, his face blank. Celia never got out of the truck. When they were gone, I went out back, opened a bottle of cheap champagne, and toasted the silence. But I wasn't done. I printed a short version of a story, just the facts. Names redacted. I posted it on a few local Facebook groups under a burner profile. It spread like wildfire. Someone from Celia's old job saw it and reshared it on their company's alumni page. The comments exploded. Turns out she'd left that job under a cloud too. Rumors of inappropriate behavior and boundary issues. A few people even messaged me. One said, she flirted with everyone, even our married boss. Eventually, someone leaked the full version of my court filing. I didn't do it, but I didn't stop it either. Ray lost his job. Not directly because of me, but because of conduct unbecoming and failure to disclose personal relationships using company devices. He was escorted out during a Zoom meeting. Celia's name started popping up in Reddit threads.
People guessed.
People gossiped. Eventually, the truth came out. They had to move. I heard through someone that they left Tennessee altogether. Rumors say they live in a trailer outside Tulsa now. No jobs. No family speaking to them. I sold the house a year later. I moved to Asheville, North Carolina. Smaller house. Big yard. Quiet street. The dogs are older now, but they're happy. I sleep better. I still see Monica every few months. She calls me the Avenger. Sometimes I wonder if I took it too far. Maybe I should have just walked away. Found peace faster. But then I remember Celia's face, smiling on my couch, and her words like a knife. You never deserved him anyway. She was right in a way. I didn't deserve Ray. But she sure as hell didn't either. So I gave him to her, and everything that came with him. Including the shame. Including the silence. Including the weight of knowing that no matter where they go, the truth follows. And every time they look at each other, they'll remember how I left them both a gift. A wedding ring. In the toilet. Floating in their mess. Exactly where it belonged.